They did it. They did it. They did it. Holy shit. Clone Wars Season 7 is really good. I know I'm usually not in front of the camera, ever. I'm usually behind it showing off my crap figures. But today I just wanted to talk about Clone Wars Season 7. It finally ended today, and I want to talk about it because it was good. It was really good. I'm not really going to talk about the Bad Batch so much. I just want to talk about the Siege of Mandalore because that's really the only part of the season that mattered to me. The Bad Batch stuff, I'll just give my quick thoughts on the Bad Batch stuff. The Bad Batch stuff was alright. It was not great. It was fine. I liked the Bad Batch. The Ahsoka arc was not great. It was not the best. But the Siege of Mandalore arc was one of the best Clone Wars videos, or not video, god fucking damn it. One of the best Clone Wars arcs, probably the best Clone Wars arc that I have ever watched. And I really want to talk about it. So we're just going to go episode by episode. So we have, I forget the episodes. I don't even know. The first one, where they actually touched down on Mandalore, I really liked that. That was probably my third favorite episode of the arc. So basically, it's not going to be a play-by-play of each episode of the whole arc. It's just going to be thoughts. It's just going to be things that I liked about it. What I liked about that episode, I liked the action scenes. I liked the actual siege of the town, and I liked the character. I like how Bo-Katan and Ahsoka, how they really meshed together, and how the chemistry that they had, not chemistry, but they had their characters played well together, and I really liked that, because they're both sort of the same character, not the same character, but they're like the same, they have the same vibe, and they have the same motivation and end goals, it's just they go about doing it different. I really liked... Oh god, this is so stupid. I really liked Saxon for like the 10 seconds he was on screen. I really liked his character. I don't know why, I just gravitated towards him. I have a minifigure of him like right over there. If you haven't seen my videos, my Siege of Mandalore video, I'll put that in a card right there or right there, one of those two. So yeah, I liked Saxon. I liked all the characters in the Siege of Mandalore arc, but most importantly, most definitely, Darth Maul is probably my favorite because I love Darth Maul. I've loved him ever since... I would be lying if I said I loved him in The Phantom Menace. He didn't really do much in The Phantom Menace. I liked him in the Darth Maul, the one where he was with the pirates, and then his Mandalore arc in the other Clone Wars stuff. But yeah, Darth Maul is by far the best part of this this arc, and the way I just want to go over. I haven't never seen Darth Maul so scared and so anxious in this series. He knows what's about to happen, and it's scary. The way he knows and the way he says, we're all going to burn or we're all going to die, it's like you see the fear in him, and you gravitate towards what he's saying, and you're like, oh crap, and you realize that this is happening. All the Jedi are going to die. The Republic is gone now at this point. And I really want to watch Revenge of the Sith, and I want to watch like certain parts of it, and then watch the Clone Wars episode, and then I want to watch it like overlap, and that would be so cool because this, if you didn't know, this arc overlaps with Revenge of the Sith, and so in the first episode, after Anakin gives her lightsabers, he leaves, and that almost made me cry because that's the last time Ahsoka saw Anakin Skywalker before he was Darth Vader, because I know she meets him, she fights him in Rebels, I remember that. So that's the last time she sees Anakin as this good guy, because then he goes, and then the way they leave, and then they have to go rescue the Chancellor, which leads right into Revenge of the Sith. So I really liked how everything flows together so well. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think. Okay, it's kind of like Battlefront 2, the story mode in Battlefront 2, where Iden Versio is crawling around Endor and stuff, and you get to see all the like sort of behind the scenes type stuff, like what's going on with the rebellion, because you know what's happening with the Sith or the Empire in that movie, but you don't know what's happening with you don't know all the ins and outs of the rebellion. So this is kind of like Battlefront 2 in a way, where you get to see a different side of it, and it's the same event, but you just get to see a different side of it, and it's really interesting because you don't get to see that side of it, and you see the main part of it, but you don't get to see what other people are thinking, because Ahsoka's a canon character, so it's like, oh, what was she doing during this time? And we know Rex didn't follow Order 66, well, I'll get to that later. We knew that Rex didn't follow Order 66, so where was he during this time? And so it's good to see that sort of, that other timeline, if I can say it that way. one of my favorite things in this arc was the little Easter eggs throughout, not Easter eggs, but the little points throughout where where Obi-Wan says he was sent to Utapau to confront General Grievous, or they say when Anakin is gonna watch the Chancellor when he's spying on him. And after they say Anakin killed Count Dooku, I was like, oh wow, we are actually in Revenge of the Sith now, holy shit. And so that really took me off my feet. I was like, whoa. And so all of the little points throughout where you know you're in Revenge of the Sith, it's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And in the third one, I don't think you hear from Obi-Wan no, I don't think you hear from Obi-Wan or Anakin. Definitely not Anakin, but I don't think you hear from Obi-Wan in the third episode. I think you hear from Mace Windu a little bit, but I don't think you hear from Obi-Wan, because that's when the third act of Revenge of the Sith is happening. That's when Anakin's going bad. That's when Obi-Wan's fighting Anakin. That's when freaking Mace Windu dies and everything. I think the third episode, The Phantom Apprentice, or was it Shattered? I think Shattered. That's the one where everything's going to hell in Revenge of the Sith. So I think that's why you don't hear from anybody, last I checked. In that episode, and I liked that because I was thinking in my mind, what's happening in Revenge of the Sith? And then when the audio of Hayden Christensen's Anakin gets played over with Ahsoka, and she's like, Anakin, oh my god. And you hear him like cutting off Mace Windu's hands, and then you hear Matt Lanter's voice as Anakin saying, what have I done? That sent chills down my spine. I was like, oh, fuck. Because it's just so scary to realize, oh, everything is happening. The Republic is dying, the Jedi are dying, and what really got me pumped in the beginning is when you see, it says the Jedi have been sent out to the far regions of the galaxy to help aid their troops. You see Plo Koon with his squad of ARC-170s, and then you see, this one really got me. I was like, oh, you see Aayla Secura with Commander Bly and his I don't remember his legion. I don't remember the number. I'm sure someone will probably correct me in the comments. If you could tell me what Bly's legion is, I would really like to know that, because I forget that always. But yeah, you see Aayla Secura with Bly, and obviously I'm not doing a play-by-play of the whole arc. I'm just jumping, in and out. But yeah, I really liked that. I just loved all the tie-ins to Revenge of the Sith, and for the majority of this episode, the majority of this talk, I want to talk about the most recent episode, which is today's episode. Happy May the 4th, by the way. Today's episode, which was Death and Victory. Victory and Death, one of those two. Today's episode was awesome. There's no way to describe how cool this episode was. I just gotta take a breath. Okay. This is after this. In the previous episode, in Shattered, you see execute Order 66. So this happens. This is happening, right after Obi-Wan fought Anakin, or right during when Obi-Wan fought Anakin, because you don't really hear from Palpatine or anything. This is basically Ahsoka and Rex on the run, and it's awesome. You see Darth Maul, and he's wrecking the hyperdrive system, and then probably my favorite image in this whole episode is the Venator coming out of hyperspace, and it's all burnt, and there's smoke coming out of it, and it just goes and then there's smoke, and it's on fire and everything. That was one of my favorite images in the whole episode. The imagery in this show, it's almost cinematic in a way. I love it. They put so much effort into the art and the shading and all the visuals in this show are amazing. So that's probably my favorite image. And I'm gonna say what I didn't like about this episode, because there's stuff I didn't like. I didn't like the part where I didn't like that. I don't know if it was supposed to be a gag or if it was supposed to be funny, but the part where where the platform drops and then the clones on it drop too. So that doesn't really. That didn't. I mean, it was fine. It's just they did it 3 times and it was all right, but it just sort of got annoying afterwards. But apart from that, the episode was amazing. The episode also had a hilarious joke. At least it was a joke for me. I don't know if this is intended as a joke. When they find the droids and they're like, blast those freaking droids, and they go pew pew pew, and the droid does that R2. Wah! They do that. That was terrible. They do that. I'm not gonna do the scream, but they do that R2D2 scream, and it's hilarious. And because you see it off screen, and then the droid, he puts his hands up like that, and it's hilarious. But yeah, that's really my thoughts on the episodes. Oh, one more thing. Captain Rex in Rebels, he says, I didn't follow Order 66. Bullshit! Of course he followed Order 66. He was going to. He didn't follow it, but he he was gonna, because you see him, he says, no, I'm gonna do it, and he pulls out his guns, and he's like, find fives, find him, find fives, and he's about to shoot him, and he does try and kill Ahsoka, he does, twice, and then she goes up in the ceiling and runs away and everything, and he sends a whole search party after her and everything, so he kind of did follow Order 66, he just wasn't successful in it, so Captain Rex, they gotta fix that, or I don't know, they can't fix it now, but I wish they paid more attention to that. But I think they're more focused on paying attention to the Revenge of the Sith tie-ins than they were to the Rebels tie-ins. Another thing, I know there's probably a book or Rebels, or I mean, I've seen Rebels, but I don't really remember the ins and outs of it, so I might rewatch it again recently. I rewatched it when Disney Plus came out, but I got sort of fed up with it, so I might finish the rest of it. They don't really show what happened to Maul and Ahsoka. I know Maul actually finally dies in Rebels, so I want to see what happened to him in between, because he just takes off halfway through the episode, and that was fine. But I want to see where he goes. I also want to see what happens to Ahsoka. This was on my mind the whole time. Where does she get her white lights? Does she have 2 or just 1? I think she has 2. Where does she get her white lightsabers from Star Wars Rebels? I've always wanted to know that, because I was thinking she'd get them in this season, but she ignites them and it's 2 blue ones. So I don't know where she gets her white lightsabers. But another one of my favorite images in this episode was the lineup of clone helmets, and then it pans over and you see the 332nd Troopers, and then the 501st, and then you see Jesse's helmet, and that was just so cool. But yeah. Now this video is almost over because I'm almost done with what I want to talk about. The last thing I want to talk about was Darth Vader. You finally see, I thought it was Hoth for a second because it has the snow troopers, but I realized it's the same planet just like years later. Years or a long period of time later because there's snow. And I loved Darth Vader picking up Ahsoka's lightsaber, igniting it, and he's like, oh crap, because Anakin is now, he's like, oh my god, Ahsoka's still alive. So, or no, sorry, Ahsoka might be, he doesn't know what happened to Ahsoka, and then he finally meets her in Rebels, and that was just, that sent chills down my spine. I loved this arc. I loved it. And yeah, that's really pretty much all I have to say. If you want to, I'll rate this arc. I'm going to give this arc a 10 out of 10, because I loved it. There was really nothing wrong with this arc. It wasn't too fast-paced, it wasn't too slow, it wasn't boring, it was perfect. This is the perfect Clone Wars arc. And as I said multiple times, my favorite parts of this arc was the little tie-ins to Revenge of the Sith. And I'm probably going to watch Revenge of the Sith when I'm done recording this. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have more custom LEGO minifigures on the way. I've just lost a lot of motivation, but I'm still working slowly. I have IG-11, I have Furvius, if you don't know what Furvius is, it's Jax Films' persona. I have Furvius, the Crimson Bolt, IG-11, and Tom Nook is coming along slowly. And I'm making a I'm making a Clonery Customs order and stuff so I can get started on Pre-Vizsla and a couple other clones. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.